gone through all of these different videos and you've gotten a lot of different information, and I wanted to give you a list of some of the different shortcuts that I have learned over the years that will hopefully make life a little bit easier for you as well. I'm going to go through each one, and hopefully when you're done you'll be an Excel expert here. Let's get started. Tip number one, creating multiple sheets at the same time. We had worked with this exercise in one of the previous videos, and this is the one where each division of the company was set up on a different sheet tab. If I click on the first sheet tab, Australia, you can see that they are tracking each item that they sell and the figures for quarters 1 through 4, and they obviously have some numbers that are just for Australia and then some totals down on row 9. What if you have multiple sheets like this that you need to set up at the same time? The reason you would want to do that is because, first of all, it would save a lot of time, but when you start creating one sheet and then you copy and paste to another, a lot of times in that paste you lose the column widths and you just lose the ability to make the sheets all look exactly the same. There is a little trick to help you do this all at the same time. We're going to go ahead and create a new file, and I want to use 4 different sheets here. So what I'll do is initially I'll go ahead and hit the plus sign at the bottom to create these 4 new sheets. Now what I want to do is select all the sheets at the same time, because whatever I type on one of these will be on all of them. Let me flip back to that file we were just working in, and I'll copy that information so that I don't have to type it. I'll just right click and copy here. Now I'll flip back, and remember all 4 sheets are selected. On any of these, I'll just right click and paste, and you can see this is in here now. And if I click sheet 2, it's there, sheet 3, and sheet 4. Now the only thing I'd have to do is change whatever's in A1, because each division represents a different name. And also I'd want to take all of this out. The quick way to do it again is make sure all the sheets are selected. Then just select those areas that you want to delete like this. And now you'll see they're all set up and they're exactly alike. Another little thing while we have all the sheets selected is these are pretty small. And if I wanted to zoom in on all the sheets at the same time, again, make sure they're all selected. Then you're going to go ahead and hit your zoom at the bottom. And when I zoom and go look at the other sheet tabs, they're all the exact same size. Now I can go ahead on each division and put in the individual numbers that I need, and I didn't spend hardly any time working on that. Tip number 2, I want to show you how to quickly turn a range of cells into a table. As you can see, I have what I might call a table right here, but in Excel it doesn't see it as a table as far as the formatting is concerned. You can quickly turn this into a table. All you have to do is click anywhere in your range, hold down the Control key and hit the letter T on your keyboard. And you'll notice because you were clicked in your range that the Create Table window pops up, and it already has the absolute value of the range in here. Notice it also says my table has headers, which it does. I'll click OK, and now you'll see it's turned it into an actual table in Excel. Now all of your table functions are available. You can use your Table Tools contextual tab at the top. You might change the style of your table. There's just a lot of different things you can do here. But again, the quick way is Control and the letter T. Tip number 3, select and format an entire sheet. Let's say I'm looking at this sheet and I realize that every cell here is size 11. You can see that right up here. I'd really like everything to be size 14. I could actually select all of these cells that have data in them and make them size 14, but what I really want to do is set up the whole sheet so that every cell I type in, the text is already size 14. To do that, we would need to select the whole sheet before we change our size. The quick way to do that is take your mouse and point to the boxes to the left of column A and above the 1 and click, and that will select your whole sheet. Now if I go up and make this size 14, I have formatted every cell here. That means if I'm in a blank cell anywhere and I type something there, it's automatically size 14, and you can see that right here. And that's how you select and format an entire sheet. Tip number 4, I want to show you how to clear your formats all at once in your spreadsheet. As you can see in this particular exercise, we've got some indenting going on, some bold and italics, we've got some colors, some borders. Let's say that you wanted to take this and just take all the formatting out. All you'd have to do is select the area that you'd like to remove the formatting from, and on your Home tab, if you come all the way over here to your editing grouping, you'll see this option here that says Clear. If you clear all, you clear everything. That would be text, numbers, everything. You would have a blank sheet. So you don't want that one. You would want the Clear Formats option. And now you can see it's back to the original formatting. Tip number 5 is navigating multiple sheets. Sometimes when you're working with a file that has a lot of sheets in it, you're going to spend a lot of time going back and forth by hitting this arrow to find the sheet tab you'd like to go to. A quick, easy way to see a list of all the sheets: if on these arrows in the bottom left you right click, you'll see a list of all of your sheet tabs. If I know I want to go to sheet 14, I choose it from here and click OK, and that's a quick way to navigate through your sheet tabs. Tip number 6, quick way to print. Let's say that I'm finished working in my workbook and I'd like to print this. Normally you would take your mouse and go up to File and you come down to Print and go through all of this, and that's fine. But if you know that all of that's fine and you just want to print it, do what's called a quick print. Just hold down Control on your keyboard and hit the letter P for print, and that will take you right to this print window, and you can actually hit print right here. Tip number 7 is the Quick Analysis tool. Let's say that I want to create a chart out of some of this data. I'll go ahead and select from A5 through E9. Now, we learned in a previous module that we could hit F11 to create a chart. We could also go up to our tabs at the top and insert an embedded chart. But what a lot of people don't see is when you have a range selected, this little box on the bottom right of your selection there called the Quick Analysis tool. And what this one does is lets you quickly analyze some of your data. You're going to be able to add some formulas right from here if you want to add some stuff. You might be able to create a chart right from here, do some color coding. Let me click on that and show you what your options are. I've got several tabs in here I can look at. The first one is formatting. You can go in and create some conditional formatting options. If you go to the chart option, here's where you could put in a chart. Let's say I put in this first one, the cluster chart. See how much easier that was? And it was right there. All I had to do was click on the analysis tool to get to that. Now let's say I'm going to delete that. Let's say that I didn't have these quarterly totals here at the bottom like this. I'll just delete them. But I'd like to get those totals. We know that we could go ahead and write a formula and then copy it across, but let's say that I've selected all of these numbers like this. There's my quick analysis tool. Notice that I have the option here that says totals, and if I choose the sum, all I have to do is click on it and there's the sum of each one of these columns. Much easier than going ahead and writing a formula by hand. A couple of other options you have there, just to mention them, is you can put in a table from here. You can also create what we call sparkline. That's how your quick analysis tool actually works. Tip number 8, send email from Excel. This next tip only works if you're using Outlook for your email. Let's say that you want to email this file to someone. Normally what you would do is you would save this file, you would close it, you would go over to Outlook, open it up, create a message, attach a file. There's like 6, 7, 8 steps there. The easiest way to do it is do it right from within your file. All you have to do is go up here to your Quick Launch toolbar and you should see an email button. If you don't see it, click the down arrow and then choose email from the list and you'll see it appear right here. If you choose that, it's going to open Outlook for you and it's going to have the file already attached. All you'd have to do now is address it, put your message in, and send this on. Great little tip, and this works from inside any of the Microsoft Office products. Tip number 9 is a quick way to save a file. A real quick shortcut if you want to save your file, just hold down Control and hit the letter S on your keyboard, and that's your save option. That keeps you from having to go up to a save button here or from going to File, Save, or Save As this way. Control S will save your file. Tip number 10 is hyperlinks. Let's say that you're giving a presentation and what you'd like to do is when you're finished talking about this particular file, you'd like to link over to another file. Well, instead of telling your audience to wait a few minutes while you go up to File and you go to Open and you navigate, all you have to do is create a link, and you can link from an object you have here somewhere, or if you had a particular cell you want to link. All you have to do is right-click on that cell or object, choose the link option, and here is where you would insert a hyperlink. All you'd have to do is find the existing file that you'd like to link to. We'll say it's chocolate sales. Click OK, and now you can see that this is blue and that's a hyperlink. When I'm ready to go to chocolate sales, I'll just click there and it'll open that file for me. The other thing you can do if you want to link somewhere is you can link to a website. Let's say that I choose, in this case, G11, and that's where I want to create this link. I'll just right-click and choose Link again. This time, instead of choosing a file, I'll come down here where it says Address, and I'll choose a particular website. We'll just say Google in this case, and we'll go ahead and click OK, and it's going to link me to Google when I actually click there.